Join me at Ashili Sports as we relive the nail-biting draw between Chelsea and Arsenal clash. What a game and what a match. Both came in with high expectation to battle for a points in the Premier League because anyone winning this game could have gone ahead of the other. But then these two, we could not get the win from. They had to end draw. Welcome back to Ashili Sports. If you are new, subscribe, hit the subscription button, share, and also like the video. With me today is Kay and also Simon. We will be giving you more details, the tactical analysis of Chelsea versus Arsenal, a derby of clash, two biggest club in London as well, and also two biggest club in Premier League. Okay.
Yeah, neutral.
You being the neutral point between both of us,
Yeah.
what was your expectation and what you've seen today? Is it something that both clubs can carry on moving forward into the Premier League?
Thank you, Ashili. And first of all, let me say a very good evening to your viewers. As we always say, they've been loyal to you. So anytime we start the program, we have to acknowledge them at least. From a neutral point of view, I think it was a very entertaining match, especially like for the first half. But for the first 15 minutes, I could see that each team was trying to size up the other and then maybe try to see what they are bringing to the table before they would encounter. So for the first 15 minutes, I think the match was a little bit slow. But then afterwards, it picked up the pace, and then it was a little bit end-to-end action. As a neutral person, I think a draw is just about enough for both teams.
Simon, are you happy it ended draw because Chelsea still stay ahead of Arsenal on the league table with just goals difference?
All right. Good evening to everyone. I think it's been a while I joined the show, and
And we miss you. We miss you.
I've been around. Just like what Arsenal is going through, I'm also going through that thing, but not on a football basis. Not because Arsenal we're not doing well. That's not the reason I've not been here and things like that, So thanks to you all, and good evening once again to our viewers. I think it's been a long time, so I have to say hi. And then I welcome myself back to the show, It's been a good one. So, about the game, Arsenal-Chelsea. Chelsea-Arsenal, whatever. I've been an Arsenal fan, kind of disappointed, because I am saying, we dominated play in some ways, like, had we defended a little better, I think there was no way Chelsea was going to come into the game. So, a little disappointed, and I think the goal came by one or two mistakes. Liba leaving his position to the other side and not calling Timber to come, a whole lot of things that led to Chelsea's equalizer, And looking at all the things and factors that happened in the game, had Kai Havertz timed his running and stay online and stay on, it would have also been a different story. And then talking of the last chance that we had, just tap it in and let's go to the VR if it's offside or not. So like with all factors put together, a little bit disappointed, but yeah, I'll take the draw.
You take the draw. I'm a little bit disappointed as well with Chelsea for sure because this is an Arsenal club or Arsenal team who has been struggling for the past few games. And coming to Stamford Bridge, Chelsea should have go all out to win this game. But then it looks like the coach was looking at it in a tactical way rather than looking at Arsenal flops. And that's the reason why Chelsea could not go in all out to win that game because we have the men attacking wise, midfield wise. If we mean to play the game, I think we would have been 100% better than Arsenal. But then it looks like today they were much focused on the tactical way than just going out to play football for me. Okay, do you think like Arsenal, the chances they got, is it the reason why they are not actually getting the Premier League title? Because couple of chances they could have finished up the game, but then they could not able to. Do you think this season could be another changes for Arsenal?
As we all know, Arsenal need an out and out striker. I always say they need a center forward, a typical center forward. Arsenal does not need a striker. They need a poacher. a center forward, someone that they can channel their play through. Because clearly it showed today, if they have had somebody like Victor Osimhen or these out and out strikers, they could have at least utilized these chances that they had. But because they don't have those sort of players like a poacher type or a center forward like the Didier Drogba type of strikers, I think it's going to be very difficult for us now to win something with these sort of strikers that they have. And secondly, I think Chelsea's equalizer was a gift from Arsenal, because look at the position of Partey and Rice. What were they doing in their own 18-yard box when opposition midfielders are closing in? I don't. Was it a tactic from Arteta, or it was their own doing? Because so it took Timber to read the danger and then try to cut across where the player got the chance to shoot, and Partey and Rice was in their own 18-yard box. What were they doing there? So I think the goal was gifted to Chelsea.
Yeah, yeah.
Kay was
Uh-huh.
saying it was a gift from Arsenal, yeah? Now, and he's also calling out Partey and Rice, But then looking at it from the player that scored the goal, Neto, he's a winger.
Yeah.
Do you understand me? Now,
Yeah.
he moved from the wing side to the middle part of the pitch. Now, Partey and Rice, they had their eyes on those middle players that always play at that position. Martinelli was the one that was coming with Neto. Do you understand? He just left him, because if you are running with him, you have to come with him because he's your player. He's a winger. You are a winger. You are assigned to him. If he is coming into the middle, you come with him, and then the left back deal with the right back. Then again, I believe in Arteta. That was not a tactic from Arteta. Just as Arteta was asked after the game, and he was like, "I'm very disappointed at that because the defensive shape of Arsenal were kind of disorganized." You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So just
And
like they were
at
about
times
to,
it was so deep.
yeah, it was so deep, and just like they were about to, set this defensive line again, that was when it happened. Because don't remember, it was a corner kick that came in. I don't know whether it was a free kick or a corner kick that came in. It was cleared to the far post. Saliba tried to chase the ball, and then the ball was drifted to the middle again. So he was a little bit late to get into the defensive part again. So he asked Timber to cover for him. You understand? Had it been Saliba, and knowing that Thomas Partey and Rice has left a space behind them, he would have come out. Do you understand what I mean? So I don't blame the defense too much. It was a very disappointing goal to concede, but I don't blame them too much because the player that scored the goal was running from the flanks. And I think Martinelli should have just come with him, just like he was doing, because he was walking with him and he just stopped. What has happened had happened. So yeah, we take it as that.
Yeah, I understand what Kofi is saying, but I think looking at the tactical side of the game, midfielders, especially the holding midfielder, are like your number one defensive role is ball recovery. And we ask yourself, if the defense have been able to block the shot, or it has been deflected back, the player would have gotten the same opportunity to shoot again, because Arsenal midfielders were nowhere to be found. They were very deep, but I think one of them should have stuck to its own position by being in the middle of the park to receive or to recover the ball once Arsenal have cleared the danger. But both of them were caught ball watching, and they were so deep, and they got punished for it. That's what I was trying to explain. That was the gift they gave to Chelsea.
That was the gift they gave to Chelsea. And talking about the first half of the game, this is where Chelsea dominated in creating chances creating, even though Arsenal was also a bit more into the first half. But then I think Chelsea could have get a goal in the first half. But then just looking at the mentality they take into the game wasn't what I expected. In moving forward with this performance, because I don't think with these big clubs, Chelsea are not able to get results from these big clubs. At Liverpool, the same thing. we went to United.
Manchester.
United were struggling. Yeah, in Old Trafford, we couldn't get the 3 points. And now Arsenal, we already lost to Manchester City. And now Arsenal, we couldn't get the 3 points in our own backyard. Do you think we can still get the top four to play Champions League?
I think is going to be a little bit difficult looking at how you guys are playing today, like you played today and your subsequent matches. Because playing against a low block is going to be very difficult. They will sit deep, allow you to play, and then try to counter on you. And I think at the moment, top four is open for I think from fifth to ninth. Everybody can be in the top four because Tottenham also lost today. So
Yeah,
the top four is still obtainable by Chelsea.
so obtainable by Chelsea. Yeah. So, do you think Arsenal can fight the title this season?
Let me touch on Chelsea and
Okay.
and talk about Chelsea. And I don't know where your disappointment is coming from, facing Arsenal, and them not playing the kind of football that you wanted them to play. Don't forget, Arsenal is one of the best teams right now in the EPL.
Yeah,
They are
true,
having problems,
true.
all right. But having
Yeah,
Not
Odegaard
not
back, man,
not Chelsea.
don't forget, this is the same team that trashed you 5-0 last season.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
Mm,
now, coming to this game, I think what Maresca did was to concentrate on the tactical aspect of the game, which was the best thing for to do. We
yeah,
got Odegaard back, one of the best creative midfielders in the league. We have one of the best wingers in the league in Bukayo Saka and Martinelli. They can destroy your team at any given time. So I think he has to approach the game this way. And don't forget, we are coming from 4 matches without a win. So definitely we were coming for it. So Enzo Maresca did the right thing by holding the game and trying to play that kind of game. Had it been that they wanted to go all out because they are home and they want it, we would have destroyed the team. Trust me.
yeah. It's true,
So I
true,
think
true,
I'll
true.
give credit to Chelsea for the kind of tactics they used against us. Though they were not really in the game, I didn't see any dangerous chances that they created aside putting the ball like those long crosses. Their defenders
mhm.
trying to head the ball and all that. They were, to me, they were not dangerous. You understand what I mean? Aside that loose or the gift that K said we gave them. You understand what I mean? So I
Yeah,
think it was a really, really good approach from Chelsea. And I don't think you should be disappointed. I think that you should be happy. I've watched Chelsea in so many occasions telling you from last season how they played and how they were not going to make it into the top four, challenge the stats and all that. You understand what I mean? I think Chelsea this season could be in the top four, seeing the style that they are playing. Because the moment teams sit back, that is when this boy, Cole Palmer, get the
Palmer.
free spaces to do what he want to do. Do you understand? He's a very dangerous player.
Yeah.
But when you play boot for boot, when you go to them, wanting to play football with them, this is what Chelsea is lacking. You understand? And so if you see Chelsea this season, they are able to beat the lower teams because the lower teams always think we should sit against Chelsea and see if you can counter attack them and stuff like that. They have ball playing players. They can destroy your team. Cole Palmer, when it comes to his passing and things like that, very dangerous. You understand? But when it comes to tough teams, where teams comes like we want to play boot for boot with them, that is what they lack. That's what they lack. So I think you shouldn't be disappointed. And to all Chelsea fans, I think it's good. They are not going to challenge for the title just because of Enzo Maresca. I had always wanted Pochettino to stay because Pochettino was going to build on what he was doing, though he was going to encounter certain
More than that.
losses and things like that. But I always believed in Pochettino that he was going to use Chelsea to challenge for the title. But Enzo Maresca has to go back, set his tactics and this thing to the boys. They are now coming to catch up. They are now coming to start. They are now playing. And just like every new coach does, when they get a new team, the players tend to turn up. And for
Yeah,
whatever reason, they play good football. This is what is
yeah.
happening right now. But I don't know about Chelsea. I can't talk more. But I think they can still make it into the top four. Yeah.
So will Arsenal make it?
To add to what Kofi was saying, I think this season, if we all could remember against Wolverhampton Wanderers, Wolves, we saw what happened
Yeah.
in the first half. Wolves got clear good scoring opportunities, and then they were playing good football. So they thought that they could have built on that. But then on the second half, everything changed and Chelsea got away with a win. I think it was Wolves trying to overthink, you understand, because they thought Chelsea were down, so they were going all out to beat them. And then, hey, mind you, big club is a big club. And then it turns, and Chelsea were able to counter attack and play that sort of front four that this coach is used to play. So I'm thinking that if these low blocks meet Chelsea and they try to play according to their strength, like how they know how to play football, like defending deep, then counter attacking. I think it's going to be very difficult for Chelsea to beat this sort of low blocks. Because imagine if you go to Fulham and Fulham is playing this sort of football that they are used to. They sit deep with back five, two in front of them, and then the front three do the up and down runnings. You understand? How are you going to dissect? How are you going to find your way through these low blocks? It's going to be very difficult. It will rely on
Uh,
Cole Palmer. But if I'm the manager, I will man mark Cole Palmer, and you see that the rest of the Chelsea team will become a normal Chelsea team. So I think that top four is obtainable, yet it's going to be very difficult if these low blocks try to play the sort of football that they know how to play. Then it's going to be very difficult for Chelsea to make it to the top four.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for watching. And hey, if you just joined us and you are new, remember to hit the subscription button. Chelsea, Arsenal, who was better and who was your man of the match for sure? And hey, let's see you in the next video. Ciao.